welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Dave, and we are ready to break down some Sunday sports. I guess I have a basketball play. Technically, it's not really available only at one book, but I'm still going to give it out. I have a hockey parlay. I have some CFL. I have some NFL. I got a little bit of everything for Monday night, or sorry, for Sunday sports. So we'll jump into the show. I do not have the current show standings updated. Of course, I'll have those all done for Monday. But we'll start with NFL, the early games. There is a whole bunch of them. I'll be honest, this week in NFL, a lighter slate for me. I don't like this week as much as I did last week. We'll start with the Vikings and the Commanders. No big surprise. I'm taking the Vikings -3 here. I think that's way too low of a number for the way the Vikings are playing here in this one. And when you look at the Commanders, okay, they played better, um, but they're coming off three straight wins with teams with losing records. This Vikings team finding ways to win one score games. Um, I don't think this is going to be a blowout for the Vikings, but I do think they covered the -3, and most likely I'll be taking the -6.5 as well because I think they cover a touchdown in this one. I don't really see this being too much of a competitive game with the Vikings and the Commanders. Carolina and Cincinnati. That was a tough loss for Cincinnati and for myself with on Cincinnati on Monday. Now they're back at home against Carolina. I like Cincy to win this game, but the spread is 7.5, and I or it's 7 now, 7 at some spots, but still right now I don't want to lay that many points with the Bengals after what I saw last week. But I do like them to win, so I'll end up having them in parlays. But um, no, I'm not taking them minus the points. Buffalo, New York Jets under. I don't know why this is at 46.5. I think it should be at 41.5, 40.5. I think 46.5 is too many points. So give me Buffalo, New York Jets under. Have you seen the Buffalo defense this year? Yeah, give me the under 46.5. Indianapolis, New England. I like New England to win the game. I'm not taking them minus the points. I will have New England money line in a parlay. Uh, Las Vegas, Jacksonville. Taking Riley Patterson over 1.5 field goals made. I think coming back from London, I think Trevor Lawrence will not make the necessary passes he needs in the red zone. It'll end up keeping Jacksonville to field goals. So I like Patterson to get over to 1.5 field goals in this one. Miami and Chicago. Miami should win this game, but I'm not running to go and take them minus the points. I won't back Chicago. Don't have any feeling on the total, so that game is ultimately a pass. Green Bay and Detroit. Um, Go Lions, but no, I don't really care about this game. It's another pass. Don't really have any interest in betting on it. And then Los Angeles and Atlanta. Currently, at this very moment, it is a pass, but I'm looking towards the over. I think we could see a higher scoring game. So I may be pulling the trigger on the over, but as of this moment, it's currently a pass. Dave, the early games in NFL tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah, so again, like you, I didn't love this week. I still have to put out circle plays. I still have to put out plays on Instagram on Twitter, and I'll bet them to. I'm just not as thrilled. The best game to me was Houston getting 14 points on Thursday, which hit obviously, but I am of those games. I'm on Indianapolis at 5.5. It's is it still at 5.5? Let's look. That's what I had it marked down as.
Yeah, you can get Indy plus 5.5.
Yeah. So to me, 4.5 to 5.5 is a dog line. They should have won that game against Washington last week with the ridiculous pass to McLaren, Heineke. So good for them. But I think New England wins. I think 5.5 points is too much. I think Indianapolis is trying to figure themselves out. Sam Ellinger from Texas is the QB now. They bench Matt Ryan, which they should have done. Naeem Hines is gone. I think they're shifting things around. I don't think they're going to be anything special, but I also still don't think the Patriots are anything special. So I'm taking 5.5 points with them. Chargers and the Falcons. Falcons have just covered. They're 6-2 ATS this year. They're at home. Chargers have been a big disappointment, and Atlanta, already said that, has been covering. So I'm taking them with the points. And then in that slot is Miami, and yes, they are. So I'm taking Chicago with the points. I got it at 5.5 for the contest. I think it's 4.5 now. Again, a dog number. Thing about Chicago is they've been in certain situations have looked like a good team, surprisingly, but the big mismatch here is that Chicago has a bad run defense and a really good pass defense, and obviously Miami is going to be a pass-heavy team. So the matchup works well, and if you're giving me 4.5 points again on a dog line, I'm taking Chicago. So Chicago, Atlanta, Indianapolis. Sounds like a bunch of shitty teams, but I'm going to make some money.
All right. We'll move on along. Only 2 afternoon games on tomorrow afternoon. We have Seattle and Arizona, and the Rams and Tampa Bay. Rams and Tampa Bay is most likely an under spot. Will I get to it? 42.5 ultimately. I don't know if I'll pull the trigger. I am taking the Seahawks. I know there's people out there that like Arizona, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Seattle currently leads the division, and they've been a surprising team this year. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, including a 19-9 win against this Arizona team. Arizona 2-8 in their last 10 games at home. They just struggle on their home field. And Seattle 7-1-1 in their last 9 games in Arizona. Obviously, 1 tie, 7 wins, 1 losses, 1 loss. I just don't get why Arizona's favored in this game. I get it; they're at home, but that's not really an advantage for them. Seattle enjoys playing here. Seattle has a chance to win this division, and I like them here as an underdog. Um, they're my dog of the day. Surprise, surprise. I like the Seahawks here. And then ultimately, Rams and Tampa Bay is currently a pass. Dave, the afternoon games, 2 game slate. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm just going to look up real quick what the first half money line for Seattle is. I have that marked down here, and I totally forgot to further cap it. But from the collective, they're plus 114 on Caesars. I'm going to seriously consider Seattle first half there, but like I said, I need to dive into it more. But I am on the Bucks. To me, and they're laying 3 points. To me, the Bucks are still a much better team than they've been playing. Even though Tom Brady and his decline and blah blah blah, a declining Tom Brady is still better than half the QBs in the league. Probably better than half of 2/3 of the QBs in the league. So, the other pieces are there. They're just not, like Leonard Fournette's just not producing. The wide receivers aren't producing as well because Brady isn't throwing down the field. The defense is way underperforming with a team that should be really good defensively. And the Rams are a mess. I said it last year and I was wrong. The Rams won the Super Bowl. They totally caught lightning in a bottle. They should have never gone to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford isn't as good as advertised, and we're seeing it this year that they've got some superstars, but they're not the team everyone thought they were. And I think Tampa Bay can win. Probably wins by a touchdown if some catastrophic thing doesn't happen or Goo runs out of Tom Brady's leg. So, anyways, Bucks.
All right. Moving on to Sunday night football. We've got the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs. Currently a 12.5 spread in this one. And the total you can find for 45.5, 46 in this one. Ultimately going to be a pass for me. I've backed Tennessee quite a few times this year, and but not in this spot. Not with Kansas City off a bye on home field against the Titans. This is just not a spot I want to get involved in. Kansas City, I think they win this game, but that's not saying much. They're 12.5 point favorites. But do they cover 12.5? Most likely, yes, but it's a lot of points. So ultimately, I haven't got involved. We'll see tomorrow how the day goes. It's possible I end up getting involved in something late. But as of right now, currently at pass in Sunday Night Football. Dave, Titans, Chiefs. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, Tannehill. It says he's a game time decision on something that was put out 5 hours ago. But anyway, the line shows me he's probably out. Malik Willis, it was his first game, last game. Obviously, Derrick Henry's a beast. The problem, and I have Kinsey Index as a 9.5 point favorite, so I should lean Tennessee. Problem is, this is an Arrowhead. They are off a bye. It is Andy Reid. It is Patrick Mahomes, and Tennessee can keep it close. They can, but if this thing gets out of hand, Tennessee can't come back. They don't have that team. They can throw it down the field to have a shooting match. So I'll probably be off the game. I would lean, if I had to make a bet, Tennessee taking the points. But no go for me on that one.
All right. We'll go on to hockey. 3 games in the NHL tomorrow. Toronto, Carolina, Detroit, and New York Rangers, Florida, Anaheim. None of the 3 really stand out to me being for single bets. But I'm taking all 3 favorites, all on the money line. NHL favorite money line parlay. Carolina, obviously they're going to be more rested. Toronto playing Boston right now. Have to travel to Carolina. Samsonov is playing tonight for Toronto. So it's very possible I end up pulling the trigger on Carolina puck line tomorrow. But I do like Carolina to win that game. Detroit and New York Rangers. I got burned fading Detroit today at home, coming off a 3-0 shutout. They'll be heading to New York tomorrow. Most likely we'll get Shesterkin against Nedeljkovic for Detroit. So it's a Rangers spot there. But I don't really like, I don't want to take the Rangers -1.5. So it'll be Rangers money line, Carolina money line, and then Florida, Atlanta, Anaheim, both playing tonight. Anaheim's just not a very good team. And in the end, I'll take Florida on the second night of a back-to-back to beat Anaheim. So that will be a 3-game parlay. Carolina money line, Rangers money line, Anaheim money line. Dave, I know you said you didn't look at hockey. Any thoughts before we move to other picks?
Where's Florida playing today?
LA.
Okay, so they're in LA and Anaheim are right next to each other. No, none of these teams, in my limited hockey experience, none of these teams or matchups are anything that I have some traction with. In fact, I don't think I've bet any of those teams this year unless it was in a total. So nope, I'm off of it. We did hit the Avalanche. They're scoring the shit out of the puck. We hit them over, team total over twice. We hit them today and yesterday. And go Flyers, currently tied with the Senators for like plus 160 something. I forget what it is, but that was a cap the capper, the almighty Nicholas Earl hockey capper. But I think the Flyers have been a good bet. These past few weeks, surprising team, obviously, but we'll see.
All right. We'll move into other picks. For me, I have plays in both of the CFL playoff games. It is the Canadian football playoffs starting tomorrow. The odds have moved a little bit here towards Hamilton. I am taking the Tiger Cats on the road as a dog. They're small dogs now, plus 105. plus 1.5 when it comes to the point spread. I'll be taking them on the money line. Hamilton, a really disappointing year most of the year, but coming into the playoffs on a winning streak. I believe it is 5 games. Let me get that up here to be correct. They have won four games in a row heading into the playoffs, and they have that experience going to the cup, the Grey Cup final the last 2 years. So ultimately, I think they will beat Montreal here in the first game. And then we have Calgary in BC. That's going to be a really good game. Nathan Rourke back at quarterback for the Lions at home in his first playoff game. It'll be the first playoff game for Calgary's quarterback as well. Give me Rourke and the BC Lions at home here to win, and then they'll head to face Winnipeg, who will most likely beat them and go to the Grey Cup once again. But I do like BC and Hamilton. And then in the NBA, lean right now with Memphis minus 7.5. Lean with Utah plus 10. Not sure if I'll get to either, but the one game I'm really interested in at 3:30 is the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are in LA facing Lakers. Only available at one book right now. Currently, it looks like it's a 3.5 spread. As soon as that is available at one of my books, I will be taking Cleveland minus 3.5. If it moves to 4.5, 5.5, it really doesn't matter to me at this point. I really like Cleveland tomorrow against the Lakers. As long as it's under 7.5, I'll be taking it as soon as it's available. Dave, other picks and other sports for tomorrow. What do you think?
Nope, just NFL. That's all I look at on Sundays usually. That's it.
All right. A shorter show, but that is okay. The point of the show is just to get the picks out there for Sunday. So we will jump onto the best bet segment. Start with over under. For me, Buffalo, New York Jets under 46.5. Nick is going with Kansas City and Tennessee under 45.5. And Tim is going with Seattle, Carolina under 43. Dave, are you going with an under? Or do you have an over under?
So I the two that I'm kicking around are the Colts, Patriots under 40.5, or the Chargers, Falcons over 49.
If I
And
wasn't taking Buffalo, New York Jets, I would be taking that over in the LA Chargers.
so that's what I'm going to do too. I think the other game is a tad bit too low. This one might be kind of accurate, but I mean both of these defenses are not good and give up a bunch of points. So yep, that's what I'll take. 49.
All right, I'm going to get the exact
The odds
number up here. Yeah, odds I'll get for everything once we're done the show. I just want to make sure I get the right number. 49.5.
minus 110. Yeah, 49.5 at minus 109.
I see minus 105, but that's good.
Anyway, whatever.
We'll go on to dog of the day for tomorrow. For me, I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. Nick, no shocker, going Indianapolis Colts. Tim, going Detroit Lions. Interesting. Plus 170. Dave, is there a dog that you like for tomorrow?
Not straight up. No.
All right.
No.
Eddie says, even if the show was short, you guys rule. Thanks, Eddie. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, sometimes people just want the picks. They just want the picks, and that's it. You don't need a long show going on and on sometimes. But going on to best bets, no big surprise here for me. The Vikings are rolling right now, playing well. They'll beat the Commanders by more than 3. So Vikings minus 3 for me. Nick is going against Tim's dog, and he's taking Green Bay Packers minus 3.5 as his best bet. And Tim is going to go with Chicago Bears plus 4.5 tomorrow against Miami. Dave, what do you think here for best bet?
I'm with Tim. Chicago Bears against Miami.
All right. Glad I'm staying off Miami then. I was looking at Miami money line for a parlay, but I wasn't
It's
overly convinced about it.
it's one of those hammer poopy places. Like it's just I don't know. It's a dog line. It's a bad team. That bad team does one thing well, and that is defend the pass, and that's what Miami does. And they're at home. Too many points, I think.
All right. And that is the show for tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. And we'll see you back again on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Best of luck on your bets tonight and tomorrow on Football Sunday. And we'll see you again on Monday. Have a good one, guys.